Hello, fellow translators. Today we are going to discuss what the hell do we do with AI and how can we handle AI? Do we accept it? Do we renounce it? Or do we do something else entirely? Because this is something that we are all encountering, we're all going to encounter, and every translator coming up will encounter it. So coming up here, we'll discuss it. So first of all, what is the AI problem? Because you can find a lot of people saying, let's get rid of AI, learn AI, stuff like that. But what is the intrinsic problem with AI? Why do so many people have an issue with it? In essence, clients think that thanks to AI or because of AI, due to AI, translators aren't needed anymore. Or else they're needed, but they're kind of devalued. So they expect for rates or for turnaround times or for the job or whatever to be adjusted accordingly. This is a problem for many different reasons. So how do we deal with this problem? In essence, from what I've seen, there are two different approaches to this AI problem. So we're going to go through both of these approaches and discuss what's correct and what's wrong for each one. The first approach is avoiding AI. I think this is the kind of gut instinct that a lot of people have, that they want to avoid AI because it's coming here and it's threatening to do a lot of damage and it's causing a lot of damage itself. A lot of people just decide to avoid AI, and this can work for you, especially if you have steady clientele. If you've been translating for 20 years now and you have steady clientele and everything's going okay despite everything, then absolutely you can say, never, I'm not dealing with AI. I don't want to deal with it. I'm avoiding AI. It can also work if you're very niched. So you might be in a niche that AI just cannot handle, or that AI handles very badly and the people in that niche know that and understand that. And so you can just continue doing what you're doing. And by the way, this is a reason why I've been recommending people do get more niched, because it's better in terms of avoiding or not having to deal with AI. Unfortunately, this approach is terrible advice for newcomers. When new translators are coming onto the scene, they're going to have to deal with AI. They don't have steady clientele and they're not niched yet, not niched enough, and they don't know how to talk to new clients and let them know that they'll be better than AI or anything like that. They are going to encounter the AI problem. They're going to have to deal with it. And if you just tell them to avoid AI, that's not going to work. So what's the second approach? The second approach is accepting AI. This seems like a logical alternative. You just say, okay, we'll learn AI, learn how to use it well, and then everything's hunky-dory. Unfortunately, that's not really the case, because it doesn't solve the main problem, which is client acquisition. How are you going, even if you understand AI and translation perfectly, if a client thinks translators are not needed, then it doesn't help you at all. And that's the problem. They see AI as a substitute for translators. When you have clients, whether it be end clients and frankly, too many agencies as well, even though they totally shouldn't, they see AI as a substitute for translators. And maybe they want translators only for the post-editing or something like that, if they want them at all. So even if you understand AI and you know it well, it still doesn't solve the AI problem. So possibly it's time for a third approach. And this approach is confronting AI. So let's look at it. The C-level suite people tend to love AI. The CEOs and all that are saying, oh, great, incorporate AI. I'll make everything streamlined and everything move more quickly and we can get more done and blah, blah, blah. Get it done, get it done, get it done. But the people handling the daily activities see the problems, and they continue seeing the problems, and they're going to see the problems with AI. All the shortcomings that AI has, the mistranslations and the mistakes, the hallucinations. AI is very well known for hallucinations. If you remember at the very beginning, they said, don't worry about hallucinations, we'll get rid of them. It's been 3 years now, we have not gotten rid of them. And in fact, they haven't diminished, to be honest. They continue being there all the time. Then obviously the confidentiality issues. Anything you enter into the AI box ends up on a database somewhere. Liability problems, because you're liable. AI will not tell you if it made a mistake, and you're liable for all the mistakes it makes, etc., etc., etc. There are tons of issues with AI. And people handling AI daily are going to see these issues, even though the people who are the C-level, or in my experience, people dealing with technology, they think AI just takes the place of translators or a lot of other people. And they don't see the day-to-day issues that AI can pose. So these people dealing with the daily activities and seeing the problems with AI, these are the ones to approach. These are the ones who are most amenable to you going up to them and saying something along the lines of, hey, AI is a great tool. Don't get me wrong, it can get a lot done, but it can be a disaster if it's used incorrectly. I can help you with that. So if you are trying to use AI and you're having issues with it or anything like that, look, why don't you let me handle all of that? Now, to be frank, this is the best solution I've found so far. However, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that it has issues. It has quite a few issues. First of all, it's very slow going. If you're approaching each person with this speech, you need to know exactly who you're approaching within the company and what they are responsible for. And only that way can you approach them and let them know that if they're having issues with AI, you can handle it, or if they anticipate having issues, or that they are going to have issues, and explain it to them and how you can help them out with that. It's also unscalable as far as I can tell. It's not like you can start using this by sending cold emails out to 100 people a day, which you shouldn't be doing anyway, even though everyone seems to be doing it. But this really kind of highlights how you cannot do that. It needs to be bespoke. It needs to be customized for each and every different person that you approach, because you need to approach them with their own issues and show how you can handle their own issues that they are having with AI. Also, it requires AI knowledge. You need to know what the issues are with AI. If you come up to these people and say, AI can never be as good as a human because we humans have human hearts and souls and we understand translation better than AI, and translation is not just word for word. Well, they know all that, okay? They absolutely, I have not dealt with one client who didn't already know that. And so if you go to them and tell them that, well, they're not going to trust you, to be honest. They think you just want to avoid AI. So you need to show that you know about AI. You'd be like, look, I understand it can be very good and you can create glossaries with it. You can do this, you can do that. But at the same time, you're going to have hallucinations. You're going to have mistranslation. It's not going to let you know when it makes a mistake, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you need AI knowledge, but you also need the skepticism. You need to know how AI works in translation and have at least an idea of how to handle it. But you also need to know its shortcomings and what it can get wrong. So this means that both the avoiders, the first example that I had, the first approach to AI, and the acceptors, the second approach, both of them are correct. They're just missing the other side. You need to have issues with AI and with all the problems it can have, but also accept the good side and know how to work with it in that sense. So I'm curious what your thoughts are. And this is a conclusion that I've seen and the best solution that I've found. Although, as I said, it is very slow going and it requires approaching clients, prospective clients, etc., one at a time with customized solutions and sort of explaining it to them. Feel free to let me know what your thoughts are and if you agree that it's same or similar and what your approach is or would be for handling this and for approaching clients about this. I'm very curious to hear about it. But regardless, this is what I've been doing as an agency and in the translation world thus far. And so I'd really like to hear what everyone else has been doing and how they've been approaching this. And that's it for now. Oh, and I always don't forget, if you found this useful, please don't forget to click like, because that always helps. Feel free to share this video with anyone else you think will find it useful, because I really appreciate it. And if you haven't yet, just subscribe. If you're interested in translation and if you came across this video, well, there's plenty more where this came from. All right. Savedum.